What is the post on social media that makes people wonder if that really is Simon Cowell? There is a new movie for Britain's Got Talent that makes Simon Cowell look very different. 2 or 3 minutes can change your life. That's what I always say on this show. I think he hurt himself tonight. He can handle a lot of pain, but it's clear that something happened. The well-known singer Simon Cowell has 2 boys named Eric and Adam, have been in the news for a shocking new discovery about Simon. The entertainment world is buzzing about this comment because it is not like anyone else's. About Children's Hospice Week and how you got involved with Together for Short Lives. Could you write a short piece? Let's say you learn something about someone that changes everything you thought you knew about them. This is what Simon's children's latest revelation means. What did they say? Why are they letting it out now? What does it mean for Simon? Come with us as we uncover the shocking truth about Simon Cowell and the mystery of his 2 sons. Simon Cowell has been a major figure in the entertainment business for a long time. He is best known as the sarcastic judge on talent shows like American Idol and The X Factor, a music business executive and TV director. Simon, an executive producer, just signed a multi-year deal with the show, which is another reason to be happy. He got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. People all over the world know him for giving honest feedback and finding talented people. But what people really want to talk about is his dramatic wedding to Lauren Silverman, who has one of the most beautiful looks in Hollywood. Lawrence is from a rich family in New York, and she used to be married to Andrew Silverman, who is a real estate mogul. In fact, Lauren already had a child from her first marriage. His name is Adam Silverman, and he is a young boy. Simon says that the fact that Lauren's first marriage ended and his love for her made it necessary for him to accept Adam as his son. Because of how public Simon and Lauren's affairs were, it was hard for them to be together. But over time, Simon and Adam became close friends who treated each other with respect. It was hard in the beginning because of how Simon and Lauren's relationship started, but they have both worked hard to make Adam a part of their family. This is easy to do now that Andrew and Lauren have agreed on who will care for Adam, letting him split his time between the 2 homes. It gets even more interesting now. In 2013, Simon and Lauren's romance made the news for the first time. There are also new pictures this morning of Simon Cowell making out on a boat with his friend's wife, who is now carrying Simon's child. When the news came out that Lauren was pregnant with the America's Got Talent judge. She was still married to Andrew at this point, but she had to go public with Simon, which was the first time that everyone saw them together. There was a beautiful love story that turned into a scandal, a custody fight, and lawsuits from Lauren's ex-husband Andrew. Even so, Simon and Lauren kept going on their love story, which led to the birth of Eric, was born on February 14th, 2014, which seems like a fairy tale. Simon's big moment came when Eric was born. He became a dad for the first time at the age of 54. He was born on Valentine's Day, and his name is Simon Cowell, and his girlfriend is Lauren Silverman. That's so sweet. The birth of his biological son was a changing point in his life. It went from being focused on being a bachelor to being focused on family. Before Eric was born, Simon was known for not wanting to be a dad and often said that he wasn't cut out to be one. But when Eric was born, it changed everything for Simon and gave him a stronger sense of purpose. He later said that being a dad was something that just clicked for him right away. The news of Eric's birth spread quickly through the media, who were ready because they had heard about the couple's incident the year before. Reporters all over the world wrote stories about how happy they were that one of the most famous people in showbiz was now a dad. Despite all the attention from the media, Simon and Lauren were just thrilled and chose to tell close family and friends first. On the same day, Simon tweeted that the baby had been born, letting them know he was happy and thankful for their help. He was listening to Britain's Got Talent auditions in London on the day Eric was born, which is across the Atlantic Ocean. Upon receiving the life-changing call that Lauren was in labor, Simon did not waste any time and quickly flew to New York to be with Lauren. It was at Lenox Hill Hospital that Eric was born. In the end, Simon made it back in time to see his son live his first moments. A lot of times he's talked about how seeing Eric for the first time made him feel the most. Simon named his son Eric after his late father, Eric Sillig Philip Cowell. It looks like Simon Cowell has a new little star. As the music mogul's lover, Lauren Silverman gave birth to their son Eric in New York, seen here leaving the hospital with a boy who weighs 6 pounds and 7 ounces and was named after them, who died in 1999. Simon has often talked about how much he appreciates his father's knowledge, kindness, and impact on his life. So it wasn't a surprise that he decided to honor him in such a different way. The moment Eric was born, Simon confirmed with a simple but emotional message. It was a rare moment of openness for the normally private star. Simon Cowell is thought to now treat his family relationships from the point of view of a father. A lot of women had been interested in him over the years, but marriage never seemed like an option. Even when he was dating Lauren Silverman, Simon wasn't sure if he wanted to get married at first. no matter how close they were and how they both took care of Eric as parents. The main change is that Eric has had an effect on Simon's life to the point where he will finally ask her to marry him in 2021. Simon has become close with his two kids, Adam Silverman, Lauren's son from her previous marriage, and Eric Cowell, his biological son. He is an unusual father figure, but they love him. Sources close to the family say that while everyone knows Simon Cowell for his charming personality, his children, Eric and Adam, see a different side to him and have always said what they think about him. How Simon is seen by the kids. While Adam, Simon's grandson, has mostly lived with his real father, Andrew Silverman, in New York for most of his life. Adam can spend time with both of his parents because of the parenting agreement. Reports say that Mr. Silverman has also said he will sue for full custody of his son because he thinks his wife is not fit to be a mother. This doesn't change the fact that he has lived with Andrew for a long time. Thanks to this arrangement, Adam has been able to stay close to his real father while also becoming close to Simon and Eric, his half-brother. Adam is an important part of Simon's family, even though he doesn't live with them full-time. Overall, Simon has made sure that Adam feels welcome in the Cowell home. This has helped Adam form his own view about Simon in a big way. This shows how well Simon did his job because Eric and Adam are also very close. Adam is a lot older than Eric, but the two half-brothers have grown close over time. Adam is someone who has been through a lot because of his mother's relationship with Simon. They will likely continue to be important in Eric's life for many years to come. Their relationship shows how hard Simon and Lauren have worked to make sure that both of their boys feel loved and cared for in their new family. Adam has been seen with Simon and Lauren at many events over the years, mostly on family trips. Most of Simon's private life has been kept secret from the public, but there have been times when the whole family has been seen together. Adam has been seen getting close to Simon and Eric, his half-brother, at a nearby park and while on vacation. These sightings show how Simon's friendship with Adam has slowly and positively grown, so he could become a member of Soho House. The private members club Soho House is famous for having famous people as members. It still has some of the things that made it special when Eric Cowell became the club's youngest member ever. The club was originally started as a place for artistic people to meet and network. On the other hand, the boy's loving father bought him this membership as a gift, drawing attention to the many things that connect them. Since the Soho House runs a network of clubs in places around the world, such as hotels and restaurants, making Eric a member when he was only 4 years old might have seemed like too much. Eric wouldn't be able to use most of the private club's features for years to come, which is the main reason for that. Still, this membership shows that the family is connected to the entertainment business, and hints at the family history that Eric is now a part of. Simon is careful of his son's privacy, but he also wants to let Eric know about some parts of his life. This early introduction to such a fancy club shows that. The name has always been my favorite. She would always come in when he was little too. She would ask, "How's the little bear when he liked to grunt? What's up with the bear? It's cute." It kind of stuck, putting him in touch with people who could help him later on. Thus, since Simon is still a judge on America's Got Talent, Eric has made a few small but sweet visits on the show. From time to time, Eric said that he was always backstage watching his dad work or showing up on TV during funny moments. Simon has tried to keep Eric out of the spotlight, but these short visits show that Eric is becoming more interested in his dad's work. Fans have said how at ease Eric seems in the entertainment business, which has led to reports that he might become an actor like his father. This seems even more likely now that Eric is becoming more interested in music and has said he wants to be in a band. This interest makes Simon happy because he has spent decades finding talented musicians. People say that he supported his son's goals and helped Eric be creative without pushing him too hard. Some people have made fun of the idea that Eric might one day appear on one of Simon's talent shows, like the X Factor, if he really wants to be a musician. Simon has already said that would make him feel bad, but one can always hope. At the moment, Simon is just enjoying his son's energy and enjoys playing music with him a lot, and exposing him to different types of music to keep his interest alive. I lost my voice, which I need to do to win this show. I believe he needs to keep acting the same. He's really honest. He's really funny. As I already said, he is very politically wrong, which I like. It's not a surprise that Eric thinks his father gave him access to Hollywood because Simon Cowell is well connected in the film business and has been to a lot of red carpet events. Eric has met the kids of some of Simon's best friends in the business at different social events like family reunions and holidays. Even though these ties are mostly kept secret, it's clear that Eric is growing up with families who live in the public eye, just like his own. Because these kids are friends, Eric can make friends with other kids who understand the unique challenges and benefits of growing up in the public eye. This gives him a sense of normalcy in a world that is anything but normal. Eric is interested in music in more ways than one. He doesn't just want to be in a rock band. He's become very interested in playing the drums. He says that his father, Simon, has been there for him the whole time, by giving him drum lessons and the tools he needs to get better. Simon has not pushed Eric in a certain musical direction. Instead, he has let his son follow his interest on his own. He has also talked a lot about how proud he is of Eric's hard work, saying that his son's love of music makes him think of the artists he has taught over the years. Simon would often play with him or cheer him on during practice. What's more, Simon loves Eric very much, and he has always said that Eric changed everything in his life. Life changed for Simon because of the kids. Before he found out that Eric was coming, Simon was on a road that many people, including himself, called destructive to himself. Simon was mentally worn out because of his heavy workload, personal problems, and the death of his father a few years ago. Simon said in interviews that he was about to go down a downward mental spiral because he didn't know where his life was going. Ruth really liked the show a lot. She really liked this show, yes, which kind of chose when to work on something like this again. When he heard that Lauren was pregnant, it changed everything for him. When Simon found out he was going to be a dad, it gave him a new sense of purpose and something to look forward to. One of the hardest things Simon Cowell ever went through was losing both of his parents. His father died in 1999, and his mother, Julie Cowell, died not long after Eric was born in 2015. Simon has talked a lot about how much the death of his parents hurt him. There was a time in my life when I really thought my parents would live forever. That's what I mean. Yes, it was. Putting him through times of sadness and thought. He has said, though, that Eric has helped him get better during these tough times. How happy and important it was to be a dad. Gave Simon the mental strength he needed to get better and move on. Eric was like an anchor for Simon. He pulled him out of his sadness and gave him a reason to think about the future. Over the years, this theme would keep coming up, with Eric always being able to keep Simon in check. Eric did it again after making Simon make one of the biggest changes in his life. Simon chose to stop smoking, especially after he had his son. Due to the fact that Simon had smoked for a long time, he decided to quit for the sake of his son. When Simon Cowell said he would quit smoking now that he has a baby on the way, it was because he had had health problems in the past. Becoming a father made him think again about his choices. In interviews, Simon said that Eric was the main reason he wanted to stop. He said that he wanted to be there for his son and be a good example. Simon gave up smoking for good when he thought about seeing Eric grow up without his dad and father. That's not even all of it. From big choices that changed Simon's life to smaller ones that didn't, Eric has made more changes for him since he was a kid. To a key part of the family's growth. Simon is known for how well he looks, but he once admitted to using Botox and fillers too much. He stopped doing this, in part because of Eric. After years of using cosmetics to keep his young look, Eric started to ask Simon about his looks and even laughed at him once because of them. This was the turning point for Simon. Simon chose to go for a more natural look when he thought about what he might be telling his son. He said in public that becoming a dad made him think about how he wanted to be seen, especially by his own kid. Because of this, he stopped getting Botox and fillers for good. Even more strange was the fact that Simon had always lived in London. It was a big surprise when he moved away from the busy city to a countryside area in the Cotswolds that is quieter and better for families. When asked why he moved, Simon has said that he didn't feel safe in London, especially after his home was broken into while he and his family were sleeping in 2015. The thieves would get away with goods worth up to $1 million. They did this with Eric's safety in mind, as he wanted to give his son a more stable, calm upbringing away from the risks of city life. Simon would go on to move and do it well. It shouldn't be a surprise that Simon plays with little Eric, since they now have more time to themselves since they moved. The fact that Simon's young son is so active has also pushed him to get in better shape. Simon's busy work life has made it hard for him to get in shape. But running with Eric, whether at home or at the beach, has motivated him to do so. For Simon, becoming a father has not only helped him grow emotionally, but it has also been good for his health. He often makes fun of the fact that Eric keeps him on his toes and that keeping up with his energetic son is the best workout he's ever had. But until something bad happens, it all looks like fun. They came up with this project because they both love stories and making up new ones. People have said that the book is a moving story for kids because the two of them worked on it together. As usual for Simon, the book deal includes plans to give some of the money from sales to charity, which is in line with his long history of supporting good causes. Similar to what more and more donors are saying, Simon has also said in public that he doesn't plan to leave Eric his huge fortune when he dies. He's going to give his money to charities and causes that are important to him, like animal care. He's making this choice because he thinks Eric should learn the value of hard work and not depend on his inheritance alone. You should see this as a sign of love that has grown stronger as Eric has gotten older and more like you. What do you think about what the kids told you about their dad? Do you think that this too much love might hurt us in the long run? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to share, like, and follow for more. Also, click on the video that comes up next. It will be fun for you.